Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about real estate door knocking scripts and what you should say. So in today's world, with all this technology that we have available, does door knocking in real estate still work? Can you actually find motivated sellers in this crazy market that we're currently in? What do you even say when someone answers the door? Like, God forbid someone's actually home when you door knock on it, right? In this episode, I'm gonna talk about all that, and I'm also gonna give you a script that I use. Now, I don't actually read the script at the house, obviously. I learn it, I internalize it, I make it my own, and a lot of times it's really just kind of what comes to mind. But here's the thing, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we want to listen more than we actually talk at the door. All right, first I'm gonna talk about a safety tip. I never recommend door knocking alone or doing it without actually telling someone where you're gonna be at. Hey, I'm gonna be back by 3 p.m. If I'm not back, I'm actually on the street door knocking. Just a little safety tip. Also, when you door knock, step 2 to 3 paces away from the door when you door knock because you never wanna intimidate somebody. Also, door knock during daylight hours. When does the boogeyman come out? He comes out at nighttime, so don't be the boogeyman. Don't knock at nighttime. Also, what to wear when you're door knocking. Obviously, you wanna be comfortable in your environment. Well, I door knock a lot in Florida and Colorado, and I prefer to be in shorts and a t-shirt. Now, I do like to wear socks and tennis shoes, closed-toed shoes. I would love to do it in flip-flops, but you need to remember, some of the properties that you're door knocking, they could have rusty nails, they could have broken down transmissions right on the front porch, and you never want to kick or scrape your foot on one of these things. Or even that rare occasional poodle that might come after you and bite your ankles. And finally, before I get into the script, I'm going to tell you the best time to door knock, and I recommend door knocking when people are home. I love between the hours of 9 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and where you're going to probably get the most bang for your buck is on Saturdays, 9 to 4 p.m. when people are actually home and off of work. All right, so the next step is door knock on the door. Actually knock the door, but when they answer, the first thing I want you to say is, hi, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. I know this is a little out of the blue, but I was wondering if the house might be for sale. And you're gonna get a series of answers. No, heck no, what gives you the idea that my house is for sale, or yes or maybe. So obviously if it's yes or maybe, that's what we're looking for, and that's where we ask hey, can you tell me a little bit more about the house? But if it's no or get lost, thank them for their time and back away and leave. Just be respectful. You never want to, aggravate the person. And another idea to remember is, be very careful knocking too loudly, because some people like me personally, I had small babies at home, and we would get door knocks from time to time for the solar sales guys, and they would bang on my door, and it would really aggravate me. It would set me off pretty hard when I would open that door, especially if we had just laid the baby down for a nap and we spent an hour getting that baby to go to sleep, and then someone pounds on my door. But if they would have just knocked lightly, I would have just politely said, no thank you, we don't want solar, or we already have solar, whatever. So don't be that aggravated. Don't sound like you're there with the FBI. So I want to go back to if they say no, not for sale. And a lot of times we're door knocking houses that are maybe on the notice of default list, or list pendants, or they're pre-foreclosure, or they're not paying their mortgage. So we know that there is a possible circumstance. So we obviously don't want to look like we're from the bank either. And we want to ask them if they're aware of, what their other options are, or maybe you're door knocking on this door because you found a parcel of land that they're losing, or another property they're losing, and you found the mailing address. So you always want to ask, great, do you have any other properties for sale? This is a powerful question. Even if they say no, I'm not selling, or heck no, get lost, I just thank you for your time. And as I'm walking away, I say, do you have any other properties for sale? And a lot of times they won't even answer if they don't. And there are the times, 1 out of 100, 1% of the time, but if you knock 100 doors, you might find that yes, actually, I do have a property. It's in Cincinnati, Ohio. Or yes, I actually have a vacant lot down the road that we inherited and we're about to lose it to back taxes. So you never know. That's the $1 million question to ask. Do you have any other properties for sale? So if the reply is maybe, or soon, or eventually, or one day, or possibly, that's when I say, great. Is there a time that we can set up to chat or communicate again? Maybe a phone call, or we can go out for a cup of coffee. And a lot of times they'll give you a far out date, 5 months, or give me a call in December. Here's one thing you got to remember. Don't leave the door without a phone number, an email, and a time that you're gonna kind of reconnect. It can even be like, hey, just come back in 3 weeks. And here's what I do. Anytime they give me a number, whether it's 6 months, 6 years, 6 days, I generally try and cut that number in half if it's more of like a longer term. So if they tell me 3 months, I'm gonna come back in a month and a half, or I'm gonna call back in a month and a half, because hopefully I ask them for that phone number or an email and the best way they prefer to communicate. Because at the end of the day, I wanna know what their preferred communication is, whether it be email, text message, phone number. Like, I love text messages. I'm in a lot of meetings. I'm always meeting with people. Most of the time, I'm not able to take a phone call. So I want to know if they prefer email or text message or a phone call. So if they say eventually you want to cut that number in half, get a phone number, an email, or the best way of communication. All right, and if they say yes, and here's the thing, 9 out of 10 doors you knock are going to say absolutely not, and they won't have any other properties for sale. But that 1 out of 10, or it could be in some cases, 1 out of 20, you just got to be consistent about this and consistently do it. An hour a day compounded over 6 months, you will find many properties for sale. Or maybe the neighbor, maybe they'll tell you about the neighbor that's selling. You never know what you're going to come into. There's a lot of really good people out there, and a lot of times they want to help you. So here's the home run. When they say, yes, I'm actually looking to sell, or I'm thinking about listing the house, or I'm thinking about selling to my uncle, that's when you want to ask all about the house. Hey, can you tell me a little bit about the property? How much are you looking to get out of it? Can you tell me when you're looking to sell? What's the timeline? And again, don't forget to get their contact information, and then you're going to politely ask them, is it okay if I do a little bit of research and due diligence and talk to my realtor and figure out what the houses are going for in this area, and can I get back with you? Yes, I can get back with you. All right, what's the preferred method of communication? Phone, email, text, or just door knock again? I prefer to get the email and the phone number too, even if they tell me to come back in 3 weeks. I want to get all the options available to me. And then I'm gonna come back, and then we're gonna actually sit down and hopefully do a deal together. Guys, I hope you're getting tons of value out of this. I'm actually about to give you this exact script that I just read from. But before I do that, smash that red subscribe button. That is your ticket to success. And I do these 5 days a week, and you'll be notified of when more videos come out. All right, I'm gonna give you this script that I actually just read from for free. And you're gonna get it by going to thelandsharks.com/door knock script. Again, that's thelandsharks.com/door knock script. And then I'm gonna ask you for your name and your email, and we'll email it over to you. And this is the exact script you're gonna use. I want you to learn it, internalize it, and make it your own, and go out there and knock 10 doors a day.